The dust has settled. The smoke is cleared. The tears on both sides have dried. And GQ Wrestling is here. Welcome, everybody. It's the morning after Mania reaction show. Let's go. I'm the often evil advocate of the TheNCrwd, Q from GQ Wrestling, joined on his birthday eve by G of GQ Wrestling. So, G, what is first?
Man, oh man, what a weekend, y'all. I am the Oracle, the All-Wise. Appreciate Q for shouting my B-Day out. It definitely was the greatest Wrestlemania. It's number one in my book. It goes down in history. Everybody and anybody is going to be talking about how the Nightmare dethroned the demigod Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this for a long time. It seemed like every 5 years we get a WrestleMania where these moments happen. Like at WrestleMania 30, you had the Daniel Bryan moment happening. That came true. 35, was that Kofi Mania? Think it was. And then 5 years later, WrestleMania 40, we get Cody finally finishing the story, bringing it back all around. His dad's probably up in heaven, still going crazy, dropping bionic elbows on any angel near him. But yeah, it was a big moment last night, man.
Back-to-back Royal Rumbles for Cody. I mean, face of the company.
And for it to be a Georgia boy, a real Georgia boy, I really hope they throw him a parade. I'm not going to hold my breath, but this is huge. This is another championship for Georgia. If you're a Bama fan, live with it. Deal with it. Just accept this. Greatness is upon you. Greatness is upon us. And greatness was definitely this weekend. We're going to try to get this out as quick as possible. I'm just going to drop the audio first, and then I might go back and do some classic GQ Wrestling editing. But we really want to get this show out, especially before Raw tonight. Today is April 8th. Like we said, it's birthday eve for G. So we really want to get this out to y'all, man. So no cuts, no butts, no coconuts, like Ricky Ralph once said. Let's get it started. We're going to go straight into the ratings for this weekend. I mean, we should start from the bottom because now we're here with Cody. I mean, let's start off there. Let's just do it, G. What was the rating for the greatest main event in WrestleMania history? But to switch things up, we're not going to do numbers. If y'all want to see the numbers, actually, go to our Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Look on the GQ Wrestling page. You can get the whole numbers breakdown of what we thought about all of the matches. Right now, we're going to do the ratings. It's going to be Yeet or no Yeet. And then we're going to go into a little details. But to start off, the main event of main events. Was it a Yeet or was it a no Yeet?
That shit was a triple Yeet.
It was, man. And even though it was Stone Cold the first night, it wasn't Stone Cold the second night. We didn't get to see him. But as far as our prediction goes from the past show, I think we hit everything right. We captured the spirit of what was going to happen. We said last year was the Infinity War, and this year was going to be the end game, and it totally lived up to that. Both sides with their people, and we had some deep storytelling going on too. So it was just amazing. I love how they worked the match. I love the pacing. I love the drama. How did you feel about it?
Yeah, it was definitely Avengers type shit going on. I knew Cody had bag up, but I'm kind of let down because I did want to see Jacob Fatu. Heard great things about him. I thought he was gonna show up. Also, I know a lot of Shield fans definitely thought Moxley was gonna pull.
Yeah, as soon as that music hit, I was like, "Where is he? Is it?" If it was Self, I thought he would have been there by then. It was an interesting play as far as storytelling right there. We all know that Self said, "I will be your shield." And a lot of the shield stuff we know with Roman hits deep. And right there, when Self popped up, you could literally see that Roman had a choice. He could have really hit Cody with that chair and ended it for the pin. But that wound that Self put into the Shield dig so deep with Roman that Roman's like, I have to return this favor. I have to show him how it felt when he did this to me. So instead of Roman getting that chair and hitting Cody, he hit Self. Even when you look at The Rock's face right after it happened, Rock was almost like, I could have dealt with him. You want to deal with Cody. It was kind of like, I love that little nuance that they put in there because everything that Self said was fulfilled and he was Cody's shield during that moment.
It was definitely Steven Spielberg stuff going on out there.
And it had to be, right? They had a lot to live up to. They built the shit out of this WrestleMania. But to finish off about Cody, what do you say? What was the best part? What was your favorite part? And what was your final thought after it all?
My favorite part, definitely the entrance. The winged mask, the winged coat.
The coat was incredible.
It looked like Cody had fucking armor from the gods on his coat and his helmet. Brandy was right there with him. That was goated. And shouts out to the amazing fucking cameraman. Cameraman, you were on fucking point the whole time. Big ups to all the cameramen they showed out. Favorite moment definitely was when the Avengers came out and helped Cody. You had Cena, you had Jey Uso, which was my favorite when Jay speared Jimmy was goated.
Facts. That totally saved them from what happened during that match this weekend. That made up for it to me. We gonna get to that, but please continue.
Even though my GOAT, Stone Cold, wasn't there, my other GOAT, Undertaker, showed out. It was so well put together. It was like a perfect painting. It was like a must-see in an art gallery.
Yeah, man. It was
emotional. The
emotions were running high, dude. The emotions.
I know
were
me and
high.
Q wasn't the only ones on the edge of our seat at home. Everybody was probably crying, shaking, nervous.
Every emotion ran the gamut. I'm talking about.
I know you guys thought it was gonna repeat when Solo,
Yeah, it kind of gave me some weird vibes when I seen Solo out there. But
Cody kicked out too many times to lose.
Yeah, it couldn't happen like that. But the post-match whole celebration, that seemed unplanned and organic. From the moment we heard Samantha Irving, who's always so composed, her voice shaking, and you heard like the emotion coming from her. But in that moment, it seemed so genuine that even she recognized the gravity of what was going on. That moment of her voice trembling really encapsulated everybody's thoughts and feelings after that match perfectly. It was one hell of a way to end WrestleMania 40. Wow. I'm
definitely curious to see who's Cody gonna fight next. Where's the road gonna take him? I would love.
Hold on. You the Oracle. We don't have to wait on this. Right now, G, tell us Cody's top 5 ops to come.
I would definitely love to see Cody and Randy.
That's awesome. You got this whole big story with them, the history, both generational athletes from their families.
Randy's Cody's mentor.
Somebody Cody always looked up to. See, I knew it. The Oracle. Guys, it's happening. He's telling us the future.
Cody and CM Punk, definitely that's going to happen. We will see Cody and CM Punk. I'm going to say next WrestleMania is either going to be Randy or CM Punk versus Cody. Y'all heard it here first.
You know what? Maybe I can step in. You're the Oracle, but I can be like Cleo. Cleo, no psychic. But y'all don't got to pay me for this info. One day y'all will, but right now it's for the free 99. I'm going to say this. Next WrestleMania, night 1, main event, Bianca versus Jade Cargill. I already said that. That's not what we're talking about. Night 2, though, Cody versus Gunther. $4.
That's a very good theory. But the fact that, well, it makes sense. Cody eliminated Gunther both times, Royal Rumble. I think now that he has the belt, he's gonna go after Cody for revenge. That'll be a good storyline. But now my dream
and
match,
they both got them cool coats.
My fucking dream match for Cody versus Andrade.
Man.
WrestleMania. Andrade's probably my favorite besides Cody right now, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Andrade.
No cap. Hey, look. Andrade and Rey Mysterio. They was out there doing some lucha stuff that we never seen before, bro. They was doing double crossbodies to the outside of the ring. Some of them hits that Andrade was throwing out, like, I thought it was literally going to end somebody's life. We were talking about this during the match. What we seen from Andrade let us know that he's actually the Mexican John Wick. He's on a farm. He's doing okay. Nobody knows who he is. They really don't mess with him. He keeps his grandma there at the farmhouse. And then all of a sudden, they do something to his dog. They steal his car. They disrespect Charlotte. And he kisses his grandma on the cheek. And she sees him dressed like he always dressed to the 9, looking like $1 million. And then he says, I have to go to work. And he does his work. Andrade, to me, would be a classic villain. Or even if it's not the main event at WrestleMania next year, I would like that to be the next rivalry. Obviously, he's a face right now, so it complicates stuff. But damn, that mask, his aura right now, everything about him is exceptional, man. I love how Andrade is looking. I'm glad you brought that up. That touched my soul. The Mexican John Wick.
I think he definitely will be the next GOAT. I think I definitely want him to have a title. So,
yeah, just don't play with him. Just don't play him out of the box.
Triple H, you and the team make that happen.
But before we move on, we gotta show respect. We have to acknowledge our tribal chief. What a reign for Roman.
Roman, you had it almost 4 years, man. Like, what a hell of a run. And you had the best manager. Shouts out to Paul, man, Hall of Famer. You had the GOAT manager, man. Y'all went above and beyond with the bloodline holding it down. So, Roman, man, I got crazy fucking respect for you, bro, man.
We acknowledge you, man. Definitely, 100%.
I definitely want to see when are you coming back and are you going to go for a round 3 with Cody? Are we going to see another Roman versus Cody in the future?
Give us Roman versus The Rock. But yeah, I'm sure he's going to be back one day. But I don't think it's anytime soon, man. He's earned a nice long break to pursue other ventures and movies and stuff. But as far as wrestling goes, his ring IQ, his understanding of the psychology of wrestling, everything about him really made me believe that we were actually watching this generation's Ric Flair. Ric Flair was so good at making the people who he fought look that much better than. He was always able to raise his competition status just by being in a match with him. I always loved that about Roman. I loved how the bloodline thing happened during the pandemic, and to me, it was the greatest story ever told in wrestling between him and his family. And true enough, it got long and drawn out, but in my opinion, and this is a crazy analogy, Roman was like the food the Flintstones gave us. Now, look, hear me out, man, because the people who was born in the 80s or a little bit above, who grew up in the 90s, they know this shit.
Yeah.
From the Push Pops to the Fruity Pebbles to the vitamins. Everything the Flintstone gave us to eat was goated. And at the same time, everything Roman gave us was goated. So shouts out to a GOAT. Shouts out to Roman. What a way to end your reign. Okay, so we know night 2 ended goated. But guess what, y'all? Night 2 started goated. What did you think of that match?
Clearly is my second favorite match of both WrestleManias. Man, Drew wasn't fucking around. He started the match off with a haymaker kick to the face.
Wait a minute. We just not going to go past Seth Rollins' intro like that didn't happen. The man obviously got the whole cast of The Wiz. They went down to the ring, did a whole march. Spared no expense.
I call him Mr. Cut Up.
Yeah, he was out there cutting up, man. Came out in the Fear of God, Nike Airs, man. I mean, it was a moment.
And I will say this, y'all. For Seth to fight the Rock and Roman night 1, for him to turn back around, fight Drew.
With a full health bar.
Not only that, then show back up at the end of the fucking night, Shield gear to help Cody.
Seth is really time.
Seth is really MVP.
I mean, how he sold the leg through the whole fight. It was not a point where he didn't show you that his leg was injured. When he was going for stumps, he wasn't coming down on the other leg. When he went for the pedigree, he landed on his knee. He let you know that. His ring work, the psychology he shows out there is bar none top cream of the crop, as the Macho Man would say. Seth Rollins is one of the greatest. I'm not even gonna say of this generation, of all time. And I did not feel like that. I was kind of naive when I came back into wrestling after being on my first hiatus after the Attitude Era. I'm hearing Sting is going to be there. And then I see this dude injure Sting. And then I find out he had more injuries against more people. So I always had this little thing with Seth Rollins where I didn't like him. But over the past 3 years, especially with his character, Seth freaking Rollins, he won me over. But back to the match. What do you think about this match?
My favorite part of this match, and I know everybody's gonna agree, when fucking Damian Priest ran down the Money in the Bank, cashed in, and took Drew's dreams away.
I did not see it coming. I did not even consider that. I was thinking maybe he would cash in at the United States Championship match. But for some reason, I had no clue that was going to happen during the World Heavyweight Championship match. And I think that's what made it better. I think a lot of us didn't see it coming. Back to these yeets and no yeets.
Yes, the Seth and Drew match was super goated. Definitely, besides the Cody and Roman, it was my second favorite of WrestleMania.
Yeah, Drew,
10-10.
man. If you just would have left, if you didn't get in CM Punk's face,
if you would have left Punk alone,
if you just had sent that text, beat Seth and left, you would still be champion.
I think it was even worse because you kiss your chick, let her hold the belt.
You had it all.
Then the belt gets
literally your 15 minutes of fame.
Said, got you.
Yeah. It did, as we know, the social media icon, the Slammy Award winning Drew McIntyre finished the night.
Judgment Day strikes again.
Fuck. Man, the match was goated though. Okay, so going down the list, going up the list, I don't even know which way we going. That was obviously a yeet. The Cody versus Roman match was a yeet. And the next match that was very yeetable, I would say, honestly, the Andrade and Ray versus Dom and Santos.
Definitely my third favorite of WrestleMania. It felt like they was in a movie they were the stuntmen for the actors.
Yeah, and I'm saying it didn't have that much of a build up, man. And for some reason, I went in thinking that maybe this was part of the plan, like Andrade was going to turn on Ray and actually take over like an evil faction of the LWO. I don't know, because it seemed like Dom been almost there with LWO type stuff and almost there with Judgment Day stuff.
It's going to happen. Andrade is going to end up taking over LWO. Y'all heard it here first.
So you think it still might be like a heel swerve going on?
I don't think it's going to be a heel swerve, but I think Zelina and all the other members, Carlito, punk ass, all the other members are going to follow him over Ray. And him and Ray, y'all heard it here first, they will have a match. Andrade versus Ray next pay-per-view.
But that'll be too much like, Santos.
This is the thing, Q. Andrade is an alpha male. Ray is an alpha male. You can't have two in the group.
But Ray just wants a son.
See Rocky 5 when Rocky brought the guy under his wing?
I don't even remember Rocky 5. Only Rocky I clearly remember is 4.
Well, Rocky 5, he brings this guy under his wing. The guy...
Oh, hold on. You talking about Tommy?
Yes.
Oh,
brings
yeah.
Tommy in under his wing. Tommy's nuts gets bigger than his pants, and Rocky has to bring him back down to size. But I don't see that the case being with Ray and Andrade. I think Andrade will be the leader of LWO.
But I think Ray would also be cool with that because Andrade's his new son. Mi familia for the Latino community.
I am curious to see what the Judgment Day is going to do after him beating the crap out of Dirty Dom.
Yeah, but that match is definitely a yeet. That's the most underrated match of the weekend and the one we'll actually put in third place. Now, I kind of don't want to talk about every single match, but we're going to throw a lot of yeets out here. We unfortunately have to talk about the no yeet match of the week. And it pains me to say this because it had the best hype package, I think, of all. It was Jay versus Jimmy.
I disagree. I wouldn't say that's
I don't know how
the worst no yeet.
It was horrible. Like everything that people have a problem with about AEW.
You just don't like super kicks.
No, it was not like that. I'm talking about, it was like, how many super kicks can you do before Shawn Michaels just jumped up and say, stop, it's dead?
How many claymores and stomps can you do?
But no, that was like purposeful. It was other moves in between that shit.
So
literally, like this was like watching the Jackson brothers in AEW hit every single super kick from every angle. We gonna do it together. We gonna do it once. We gonna do it twice. You do it. I do it. You come from the left. I come from the right. Super kick here. Super kick there. Show my new pair.
number one, Q, and me and you super kicking each other, I'ma fucking take a break.
Man, I just think
I'ma sit my ass on the turnbuckle and look at you and be like, "Time."
They just kept getting up. What else did they do? I mean, at the end, of course, it was a Uso splash, but come on. That match wasn't very Uso.
You gotta think about it. Roman, Jimmy, and Jay, they got the spear, the super kick, they own kind of super punch. Jay got the rock punch.
Man, you are not about to convince me that this match wasn't the worst match of the weekend.
I'm going to say, guys, the 6-man tag. I'm sorry. That was...
The 6-man tag, it had its spots, though. It had its moments. But I agree, it was not as yeetable as the rest. And R-Truth is so lovable. I love R-Truth, y'all. But, like... He's impossible to hate. And for the Miz to get another win, he has lost the most matches in WWE history. And that's actually respectable. You got a person who doesn't mind losing to make the next generation better.
Y'all, I did want my guy Pete Dunne and his partner to win.
The New Catch Republic? You talking about the guy who often looks like he ran in from the crowd?
Exactly.
Off the designer drug from the Batman Adventure series, Bliss?
They were on a great win streak.
Who remember Bliss? What's it called, Bliss? I don't know why I thought of that. Drugs on cartoons. Hold on. I'm going to get back on point, but let's talk about Bliss. Bliss had the folks going wild, doing questionable things. Look. And on Captain Planet, they had another drug. I forget what they was. Somebody who listening gonna know what I'm talking about. I mean,
I remember that
dare
episode.
To be different.
I do remember
Don't
the
do
Captain
drugs,
Planet episode,
kids.
but because I think a kid actually died on the cartoon.
I just remember a rat selling it to him or something. I don't fucking know. Look, hey, we digress. But let's see. More matches to talk about. Sammy versus Gunther. A lot of people thought this match was going to be good. It was good. But it should have been Gable. I mean, Sammy had his moment last year. It's like they're trying to force Sammy in because I guess he's that Mick Foley type character that everybody wants to root for. But at the expense of Chad Gable. He could have played the same part, did the same thing that Sammy did. And it was in Philly. It would have really been a Rocky moment. Who's more like Rocky? Sammy or Gable? Number one, Rocky would never have that much hair on him. The Italian Stallion ain't going out like that. He's not fighting in a t-shirt. Don't get me wrong, great moment for Sammy, but everybody watching knows they wish it was Gable. And for the main fact that they're going to try to make Sammy give Gable probably the first title match or something like that, it doesn't make up for it, man. It doesn't make up for the fact that WWE got it wrong. And so the crowd came and said, we want Cody. They decided to right that wrong. But I think another underrated wrong that should have been righted was Gable versus Gunther. That's his number one opponent. That was the match that really made Gunther and Gable. So I'm happy for Sammy and his family. But I think it should have been Gable. What do you think?
Definitely should have been Gable, and I do think they're going to have a future match.
Also this weekend, we seen what I believe everybody is calling the Big Three. What do you think everybody is saying or feeling after that match?
Number one, Triple H don't need to make a. My brother always brings this up, and I agree with him. They need to make extra belts because it's too many superstars to have too little belts.
Right. And guess what? Another prediction we made came true. We said from the beginning on all these shows, each week we bring it up, that the women's division needs secondary championship. Somehow NXT has stepped up. They have heard the call and they have introduced a women's North American championship. If they're doing that on that brand, I believe it's finally coming. Women's U.S. belts and women's intercontinental belts for the main roster. It has to happen now. And who said it first? We did. And it's happening. But yeah, man, women's division is going crazy. What did you think about this match? Was it a yeet or was it a no yeet?
What do you think?
I think it was a yeet. I think this was one of the most yeetable matches this week. We had all shades out there. We had Caramel, Bianca. We had Mocha, Jade Cargill. And we had Dark Chocolate, Naomi. You don't mix that all together, you get Black Girl Magic. And they was out there representing. And for everything we thought Jade Cargill was, she actually showed during that match. She showed the power, anticipation. She was able to actually work towards the crowd. It didn't look as premeditated as she was in AEW. The number one problem with AEW that we have is that they don't have house shows or the developmental to really get these people on point before they get on TV. It takes time, and I think WWE recognized that with Jade Cargill. It was like, look, we're going to strap a rocket to you. We're going to do everything we said we was going to do. Triple H seen her, and he had to think, this is China. This is my second chance to get this right. I'm not going to rush you out here. I'm going to send you up to Natty. Go to the Lions Den, get your stuff together. I'm going to have you in the performance center. So when it's time to perform, you will be the center of attention. So, man, I think everything was done right. And, well, yeah, it could have been better, but it could have been a lot worse if they would have rushed out there before time. I think Jade's presence alone is worth the price of admission. She doesn't have to do nothing. She is what I would tag right now the 10th wonder of the world. To see a woman with the presence of her, you really getting to see like a superhero. I mean, Bianca's physique is amazing. Bianca's incredible. But Jade is like a Marvel from Marvel. You know what I'm saying? She is a sight to see. And to see that she has that athleticism, she's not stiff out there. She's loose. And sometimes she has to rein in her confidence, because I don't think it's arrogance. I think it's confidence. She recognized how hard she's worked to be here. And she recognized how much work she's put in. And she's not willing to let internet nerds and trolls tell her that she doesn't deserve to be here. Jade, we are jaded for you. We got your back. And we want you to know that you did incredible. Naomi's leadership, Bianca's star power, it all came together during that match. I really enjoyed it.
Definitely a great match. I'm loving the Big Three. I hope they keep it going. I hope they will keep that triple tag going. But
even if it's just a faction, because I believe they're leaning towards, for some reason, having Naomi and Bianca as the tag team. And y'all know how bad I wanted Jade and Bianca to form the new Mega Powers, so they can work together as a tag team to eventually break up and have that match at WrestleMania 41 main event. But I'm still hoping that this SmackDown coming up, that they do challenge Damage Control for the tag title, which even if it's Bianca or Jade, or if it's Bianca and Naomi, I'd be happy. I'm cool with that.
We're cool with that.
We throwing out Yeets. We forgetting Yeets. We getting out no Yeets. Is there anything else from this weekend that really stuck out to you where you said that was a WrestleMania moment?
When Damian Priest cashed in.
Yeah, that was what you call a WrestleMania moment. And from having that same person in a match who did the greatest cash in of all time, Seth Rollins, and then having Damian Priest do that during his match, that was awesome. My low-key favorite WrestleMania moment was the This Is Sparta kick on I Show Speed. When Randy Orton kicked that Prime bottle and the top flew off, it was instant cinema.
This is true.
I seen a GIF where it was slowed down. It was almost exactly like the This Is Sparta kick. And at the end of the night, I Show Speed realized this shit was real. Look at his face. He don't know it, man. That was one of my favorite WrestleMania moments of this week. What about the drive-by spear by Jey Uso?
That was definitely out of all the Avengers who avenged Cody, Jey was my favorite. Especially
What'd you say? He slid up like those old West Coast gang movies.
He came around the corner like he had the Tech 9 tuck.
Like your boys in the hood.
Like they was Bloods and Crips, and he knew it was either him
Yeah,
or
man.
the other guy.
It was like John Singleton was like, I want you to come in like this. But yeah, that was a cool moment. Of course, when Undertaker came, and am I the only one when Cody first got the table who noticed it was a little hand there? I'm going to see if they edited it out or if it got Mandela affected. But I swear, I seen a little hand. And even with they finally got the apron down, you can see somebody tugging at it. I was like, okay, somebody's under there. I thought it might have been MJF. I don't know. I don't know why him and Cody have a history. He loves Cody and he loves Triple H. Maybe he shows up tonight. You know, the Monday after Raw. That's when stuff happen.
That's when things happen.
People show up. People make their moment.
People show up and show out.
Okay, and to finish up, let's talk about what WrestleMania and what basically a lot of the pay-per-views are missing is the match types. And this was a thing we got a lot of during the Attitude Era and before that, where a lot of matches that didn't really mean something actually ended up meaning something because of the match type it was designated. Like, picture if the Rhea versus Becky match, which we didn't talk about a lot because it wasn't a lot to talk about. It went exactly how we thought. They had a good match, but it was kind of average. The LA Knight versus AJ was a good match, but it was kind of average. The Philly Street fight with the Street Profits and Paul Ellering's gang, whatever their name is. But even though that had a designation as a street fight, they went in the street. I'm saying, like, a lot of these matches. Oh, go ahead.
These guys are in fucking Philly and have a street fight and don't do it in the street.
They should have met on the corner, and this should have been like Def Jam Vendetta. Right. Def Jam Fight for New York shit. Have Meat Mill as soon as they get knocked out saying, get up. It should have been something magical, man. And I believe that's what we had during the Attitude Era. We had matches with different match types that made the normal matches seem like championship matches. I mean, buried alive matches, casket matches, first blood matches, All those type of matches that we really don't get nowadays, they need to bring some of them back, man. I mean, picture, like what I said, Becky versus Rhea. Whether that was a buried alive match. I'm just wanting those same match types to elevate the matches that would just seem kind of normal in all other considerations. Wouldn't you like to see them bring back matches like that? Now, we ain't talking about WCW. Don't have the Geritol on a pole match. Don't have the Buff Bagwell Mama on a forklift match. But give us those type of matches, man. That's what I want to see. What do y'all think? Let us know below. Do y'all think that we'll ever get a women's first blood match? Casket match nowadays? Or, you know, a real street fight that happens in the street. But this has been the GQ Wrestling reaction show to WrestleMania. And we're going to try to get this out before Raw. We will get this out before Raw. And y'all just tag in below. Tell us what y'all think. Tell us what y'all know. And, you know, we'll get back to you on that. Anything you want to say, G?
Till next time, guys.
We love you, and we out.